We are finally here. Two teams remaining in the country and two perennial powers doing battle today with a national championship on the line. We welcome you to the Sportsplex at Matthews for our Division II Men's Soccer National Championship, live from the Tar Heel State on NCAA.com. As the 1 seed University of Charleston Golden Eagles take on the 2 seed, the Lynn University Fighting Knights. These two teams victorious in their semifinals. Charleston by CSU Pueblo 3-2, and Lynn past McKendree 3-1. These two teams facing off for the third time with a national championship on the line. The last time they met at this stage back in 2017, Charleston won after a scoreless draw. They were able to take the victory in penalty kicks in Kansas City. And here is how the Golden Eagles will come out. 3 changes today for Coach Daniel Smee's side, including in goal. And the senior from out of Norway, Nikolai Gunderson, gets the start in goal because of a red card to Konstantinos Parisis. Parisis, the junior from Greece. Well, that was a massive turn in the semifinal. 71st minute, he came out of the box, collided with the Thunderwolf outside. Our ref ultimately went to VAR. It was initially ruled a yellow. It was switched to red. So Parisis, as a result, out of today's match. He will not be able to play, but they have a very good one in Gunderson, who has seen the majority of time between the sticks this season, as well as being the conference goalkeeper of the year. So no discernible drop-off there. 17 minutes in that semifinal, made 3 saves, did not allow a goal. And the young man from Norway, as his coach said, it would be appropriate as a senior if he is indeed able to wrap up his season with a national championship. On the other side, for the Fighting Knights out of the Sunshine State, just one change from their semifinal starting lineup as Luis Kiefer, who was absolutely stellar, the grad student from Germany, gets to start up top in front of Max Lamberts, who will go to the bench. Everything else the same. Luca Clavero, the star goalkeeper from Sevilla, Spain, he was brilliant, as he has been all season long. These two teams so similar. They are 1-2. They have been 1-2 for the vast majority of the season. They know each other. I think it's safe to say that there is no love lost. Who comes up victorious today and who can take home another national title? As Lynn looking for the title, they have 4. They would have 4 if they won today. And Charleston looking for their 3rd. Glad to have you with us alongside Katie Goodman. I'm Kit McConico. And Katie, really, you and I have looked at this. This is the match so many people wanted to see. There is nothing separating these two perennial powers.
I mean, absolute powerhouses on both sides. And just watching their matchups in that first day, I mean, you can see how much of a challenge this is going to be. Really close call. Lynn University, the guys out there, you have Fabian Weinelek, Luis Kiefer, Henry Haferkorn, all produced really quality goals, got really good looks at the goal. The stuff that they're doing between the 18 boxes is just next level stuff. Charleston, they're in the right place at the right time as well. It's just going to be a knockdown, drag-out fight.
And we are underway, 90 minutes guaranteed, but with these two, possibly even more. Our referee for today, Austin Saney, he's assisted by Jay Norris, Dustin Killick, and Mindy Lamboni is the 4th official. Again, these two sides, they are so tight when you look at the stats. Goals for, goals against. Lynn, they have not lost this season. Charleston has lost just once. And we mentioned maybe the difference in goal as Parisis, he has been the goalkeeper the last 6 matches after the loss to Concord. I spoke with Daniel Smee earlier, and he said he was playing so well in practice, was Parisis. A few mistakes made by Gunderson, but they elected to go with the Norwegian, who gets the start today due to the red card. He said there's no drop-off. We are very happy to have him. He is one of the best, and we think we have 2 of the best goalkeepers in the country, and we will see. Lynn in the blue, going from right to left. Charleston in the white, left to right early on. The attacking force that is the Golden Eagles, averaging almost 3 goals a game. Lynn not far behind them at 2.5. The goal differential in favor of Charleston at plus 48. Lynn right there at plus 38. And we can go through stats for the entire 90 minutes, and you will see there is very little difference between these two sides. And a reason they have met on this stage 2 times before. They've split national championships. Charleston, as I mentioned, won in 2017 in penalty kicks in Kansas City. Back in 2014 in Louisville, Lynn won that match 3-2. And we fully expect to see some goals here today.
I think it's one of those games, it's going to come down to errors, and whoever is the first to make the error in a really tough spot, that's who's going to pay for it, because if either of these teams get a look at goal, it's more likely than not going to go in.
And Lynn has to feel good that if defense does indeed win championships, that may be an edge to them. Their defense has been so good all season long. Charleston, by and large, has done it with that high-powered, vaunted attack. As this ball will go over the end line. Simply a goal kick coming for Clavero. A thumbs up there, nicely done. As we get our first good look at the junior from Sevilla. Luca Clavero has been so good this season. He's given up just .49 goals against a save percentage of 80%. Has 12 shutouts in 21 matches between the sticks. Beautiful day here in the Tar Heel State. A very warm welcome wherever you may be joining us from across the country, across the world on NCAA.com. Glad to have your company. A lot of international fans we know joining us as well for this one, an international flavor to both of these sides.
Seems to be the case in a lot of these D2 men's programs. Great thing about America, a lot of pathways to pro here, and you know, because of Title IX, as we'd mentioned on that first day, just not as many opportunities for men to go into the D1 level, not as many programs with a men's soccer program. So you see a lot of really good talent here at the D2 level.
Both these teams playing their best soccer of the year. Charleston winners of their last 6. Lynn has won the last 7. And again, no losses this year for the Fighting Knights. 2 blips, if you will, 2 draws. But aside from that, they have been absolutely perfect. As the foul here will go against Vinalek. He was a star, was Fabian Vinalek, the junior midfielder out of Austria. Commits the foul on Kaya Moraes.
Pretty gnarly foul, as you can see here, out of the air. Looked like head collision, but he popped right back up as if nothing happened.
Oh, man, the man committing the foul. Again, the one change. Kiefer gets the start for Lamberts. Charleston, a few. As obviously Gunderson, a senior goalkeeper from Norway, starting in place of Parisis. Thomas Muller, the junior defender from Argentina, gets the start. Safford Dowling on the bench. And Tariq Jarouge in the starting lineup as well, the senior native from West Virginia. So the chess match that both teams already getting into before the match even started.
I fully expect this to be really a physical match from the first whistle. I mean, only a couple minutes in. Some aggression. Everyone here wants it.
Well, these two teams no stranger to this stage. Charleston 2-3 in championship matches in the past decade. I mentioned that victory over Lynn back in 2017. Lynn, this is their 7th championship match all time. In the previous 6, they have won 3. Victory today would move Charleston up, give them their 3rd. That would even them with Lynn, who's looking for their 4th, so certainly more than bragging rights on the table today. Ost, the freshman from France, trying to find his way through, and there's one of the danger men, João Belmudes, the junior from Brazil. Belmudes really the trigger man, but it's Vinalek going the other way. Austrian, as the flag will stay down. Ngati, edge of the box, serves this one in. Headed away, nicely done by Hermoso, the senior from San Martin, Argentina. Still the opportunity, and there will be a late whistle as there was a foul outside the box.
Coach Shmi really unhappy about, I think, the offside call to begin with. Not calling that on Ngati, but I really think he was pretty close to being onside. You had the sideline official right there. I think he just bent his run a little bit, which kept him onside. And what a great ball on, but even better defense there.
There's the foul. You can see Moraes running right into Dominic Ngati, the native of Munich, Germany. Ngati is such a impressive player, has good size, not the height, but well-built player. He's very difficult to move off the ball, and we've always seen him seems to be at the right place at the right time, as all good goal scorers are.
Has a really strong physical presence and a ton of speed as well. Hard to find that combination in players at times.
All the way back it goes. Menzel will shepherd this out for a throw. So the graduate student from Bonn, Germany. So certainly a European flair, if you will, to this Fighting Knights side. Obviously both teams having players from across the world, but more of a Eurocentric side for Lynn, and a few more South American players for the Golden Eagles. They've done a lot of work recruiting in Argentina and Brazil. Trying to play that one forward, man. Graduate student from Munster, Germany. You can see Lynn, they want to get it wide, try to get in those attacking areas and let players like Kiefer and Ngati run from the edge of the box where they're so dangerous. The throw will be with Franco Tradati. Tradati, the junior from Buenos Aires, he was stellar in the semifinal, really just commanded the back left the entire match in their semifinal victory over CSU Pueblo. Lynn with the throw, still deciding what they want to do with it. Feeling outstage, if you will, just under 10 minutes in. Both teams certainly know what the other is capable of, and as you so correctly said, Katie, it may come down to a miscue, and neither of these sides wants to fall, and they certainly don't want to fall by a miscue of their own doing.
Right, and so far, nobody really emerging as the dictator of this game. A lot of back and forth, a lot of quality stuff. Not too many silly turnovers or mistakes.
Afrikorn, one of the captains, the graduate student from Germany, the SSC Defensive Player of the Year. He has manned that back line all season long, as has his fellow captain, Marco Costa. And it says a lot about Lynn that their two captains are their center backs.
Right. I think it's one of those positions where you want those players to be reliable, high IQ, someone who leads by example. Makes sense that your captains would be as center backs.
A late whistle here, and the foul will be against the Golden Eagles. So a free kick coming, won that time by Luan Barroso Renstich, the sophomore from Germany.
Have a look back at it here. It's just got your arm, and over his arm, a bit of a body check.
Thomas Muller, the man who committed the foul, one of the new additions to the starting 11 today for the Golden Eagles. Estradati sends this one up into the air. Oh, stay able to get ahead to it. Man, had possession, lost it momentarily. Been like, oh, beautiful turn, but he couldn't get it away. Moraes able to pick his pocket. Bit of space here for Charleston along the near touchline. Hermoso surveying. Inside, and another whistle from our referee, Austin Saini. That was the danger man, João Belmudes, the junior from Brazil, who's led this side all season long. He has 13 goals for the highest scoring offense remaining in the country.
Feeling like the physicality is starting to pick up a notch here. Yeah, no ball in sight. Just an attempted tabletop. You know, sometimes that's part of the game. Send a message early on to stop play. Don't allow teams to possess. It's not just out of frustration. It's tactical at times.
Moraes, the sophomore from São Bernardo de Campo, Brazil, sends this to the top of the 18. One back, Golden Eagles trying to serve a dangerous ball in. They have a man across the face of goal. No one else in white there to get on the end of it, but the flag was up for offside.
Also have Ngati down on the ground over there. Looked like a tough tackle. Getting up with a bit of a limp.
The target that time, that was Jack Kay. Kay has been so stellar. Again, he had that goal in the semifinal, but Kay, one of the big three, if you will, Belmudes, Kay, Moraes, those three have led the way. They're all double-digit scores, and Kay, that game winner against the defending national runners-up CSU Pueblo, booking his Golden Eagles spot back here in the championship. You look at a Lynn side, and it's really goals by committee. It's not one or two players. They just have so much talent across the board. 5 players that have scored at least 5 goals, as opposed to that big three from Charleston. And after that, no Golden Eagle has scored more than 5. Hermoso on to Silva. Silva, a bit of space, looking for a teammate, and will pull it back. Well, Belmudes able to keep possession. Silva will have the throw, and no real hurry to get back to it. The freshman from Porto, Portugal. Looking up for Kay, that target forward. Kay, that great size and frame, the Englishman at 6'2" out of Preston. Here comes Kiefer the other way. Contact, and it will be a free kick. The foul on Kiefer, and maybe more to boot. We have not seen a card thus far. Our referee, Austin Sani, he wants to have a few words. And it will be with Hermoso. Juan Hermoso, the senior from Argentina, committed the foul, and he will come away with simply a warning.
I think this is the most physical game we've seen this entire weekend. I mean, just from the get-go, bodies on the floor. And working out of a really tight spot was Charleston, doing a great job there. I think both teams, the notes they were given by their coaches were, hey, if there's a transitional moment, if they're maintaining possession, that's when you put people on the floor here.
Katie, you made a good point earlier that both teams trying to set the standard and really set the tone in this match, and it seems like both are trying to say we can be the more physical. That is not a competition that we want to engage in all too much, but we knew it's going to be a physical match, and anyone who says soccer is not a contact sport, I have no idea what you're watching.
Yeah, same.
Particularly at this level, it is a very physical sport. You see the tackles, no one's shying away at any moment. Kiefer.
Yeah, I mean, these tackles look brutal at times. It has me holding my breath. Good to see them pop right back up, but ref's going to need to start pulling some cards out if he's going to want to maintain control of this game. Last thing you want is a terrible injury or, hey, even a red card.
Anton Mann able to play this one as it's chipped up to Ngati, looking for the little back heel. Couldn't find his teammate, and they're going to say the throw will be for the Golden Eagles. I think all these players, so many of them with international backgrounds, and this is maybe a bit of a generalization, but soccer overseas seems to be a bit more physical at the lower levels than what we see in high school and club soccer here in the U.S., so this certainly won't faze any of these men who've come out of the academies of such vaunted programs as this will find Kay, edge of the 18. Kay looking to turn. Oh, beautiful ball inside. Bell moves to the target. Oh, he couldn't get on the end of it. That was a great look from Jack Kay.
Charleston, I think, really dominating and creating and developing into the 18 here. Just can't quite finish that last touch. But going back to your point about physicality, I think that was the difference between the Euros and CONCACAF this year. People found a lot more entertainment watching CONCACAF and Copa America, no doubt.
So many of these young men have come through the academy programs in their native countries, and obviously it's just a different soccer than we see here, even with the growth of the academies, the MLS academies, and soccer continues to grow and improve stateside. Still trying to get up to that level that most countries are at internationally, and that's simply going to take time. You look at most countries that have been playing the game for over a century. The U.S., well, comparatively, MLS just shy of 30 years old. Trying to find a way through here. That time, Menzel. Back to Ngati, who's going to off the side of the boot, not what he was looking for. Rare miscue from Dominic Ngati.
You, of course, have Tier 2 professional leagues as well, USL Championship, USL 1, and then Summer League, USL 2. So just a lot of different spots where these guys could land after this.
Yeah, so many of these young men, they've come stateside. They were looking to pursue professional careers at home, and for whatever reason did not pan out initially. So they had a great opportunity to come here, get a great education, a 4-year degree from an American institution while continuing their career. Chance possibly to go back home and play professionally or stay here, as you said, as there are numerous opportunities to be a professional now in the States as well. Quarter of an hour in, still scoreless in our national championship match. The 1 seed Charleston, the 2 seed Lynn. The powerhouses, they've been 1 and 2 for so much of this year, according to so many polls. Not a surprise if they face off here with the national title on the line. Kiefer, the intended target. Kiefer, edge of the 18. Kiefer still, and he has it. Fighting Knights strike first. Luis Kiefer has Lynn on the board 15 minutes in.
Kiefer cannot be stopped. I mean, just looking at the way he was playing in that first game, it does not surprise me in the very least that one, he was able to get out in front, and two, maintain that composure, find the power right through what looks like the hands of the keep, only to make it in the top bins. I mean, just great stuff there from him. And not only, last game a goal and an assist, now an early goal. I think this could be a very different team without him.
For the graduate student, the lone change in the starting 11 today for the Fighting Knights. He was a substitute in that semifinal victory over McKendree. He netted the third and final goal in their 3-1 victory over the Bearcats in the 52nd. There is a definite reason he is starting today, and you can see the impact that Luis Kiefer, the Hamburg, Germany native, has. Just a beautiful run. He had a fantastic individual goal in the semifinal and another stellar strike here. As it's 1-0, Lynn. Now, how does Charleston respond? Turning. We'll say Suarez Monaco, the Argentine there. He pulls the strings in the midfield, and it'll be a long throw coming for the Golden Eagles. Looking to move very quickly into Moraes. Now Ost. Back forward Moraes, edge of the box. Unable to get a shot off, but it'll find Kay. Now Silva. Shao Silva dancing, serves it to the far post. No one in white there, at least initially. Moraes couldn't get a strike to it, and it's cleared.
Pat on the back for the Lynn defense on that one. Just not letting anything through.
And great hold-up play from Ngati, able to find Vinalek. They wanted a foul. They won't. Oh, they will indeed. It was advantage being initially played on the foul from Fabian Vinalek, and he has won a free kick. He was trying to link up with Kiefer, and you can certainly see why. Kiefer, an absolute handful.
And if you notice, there are about 5 white jerseys just on Kiefer alone. Not going to let that same mistake happen again. Just can't let him have space.
Tristan Rose, the senior captain out of Cortland, Ohio, the All-American right there, having a few words for our referee, Austin Siney. That is such a great trio. Vinalek, Ngati, Kiefer. When those three get going and they're on the same page, watch out. Both these teams, such attacking prowess. Obviously mentioned Kay Belmoods on the other side of things alongside Moraes. These two head coaches, certainly no stranger to this stage. Daniel Smee, 5th year in charge, already 2 national championships. Spent 3 as an assistant with the Golden Eagles before taking over the reins of this program. This is a 102nd game in charge. The North Shields, England native. And we said it in the semifinal, his record in conference astounding. 62 wins out of a possible 63 conference matches. That is domination.
Absolute domination. And then to be here in the final with a chance to just seal the deal. Sometimes you look at these teams and you think, how do they get here? And think about all the things that had to go right just for them to be here in this moment. No injuries, connection on the team, right pieces in the right place. All of those things have come together for this very moment.
There you can see John Roots, his counterpart, 16th year in charge of Lynn. He's taken them to the NCAA tournament 10 times. 2 national championships in 2012 and 14. He won one back in 1989 with Southern New Hampshire. 37 years as a collegiate head coach and just shy of 500 wins. He has 213 at Lynn. He is in that very rare air, 200-plus wins at one place for Coach Roots. And the free kick now coming. Belmood sends it in, and nicely done, Clavero. Looks like he may have been shielded from a defender there, but he didn't make a mistake, and he couldn't afford to. Win a bit of breathing room with the goal from Kiefer.
Trying to spread the field here by being patient.
And just 4 minutes ago, Kiefer was able to split a pair of defenders, and he buried it into the roof right over the outstretched gloves of the senior Nikolai Gunderson. Charleston yet to respond, but you would imagine it's just time as Kay very unhappy there. He wanted that ball played his way, did the Preston, England native. Trying to find space now. Suarez Monaco. Lynn a bit more patient, if you will, when they have possession. Charleston, a team, when they have the ball, you know where they're headed. Rare that they are going to pull it back as they do here.
Right, trying to take a much more direct approach, but Lynn doing a great job to keep compact in the center of the field there, forcing them wide. Seen a lot of times so far this game, Charleston getting kind of caught up in that corner and having to play rondo just to get out and get a look at the goal. Definitely intentional defense from Lynn.
Silva directing traffic. Now Monica over to Radati. Back from Moraes. Lynn well organized defensively and able to clear it away as comes in as Anton Mann. A heavy tackle, and it's going to be a foul against the Golden Eagles as the Fighting Knights still down on the pitch, and there may be more to this. The man down is Tony Gomez, a grad student from Puente Arce, Spain. Good to see him back on his feet at the very least, but the physicality, it is not letting up for a second.
Looking back at this tackle, it looked like he was going for the ball. He just went right over the ball, got kicked in the shin, but I don't think that was, a necessarily ugly or aggressive tackle. Definitely a good call on the ref here for the way it panned out.
Suarez Monaco, the man who committed the foul. Just a talking to for the Argentine. Out of Rosario, the home of one Lionel Messi. I think they produce some pretty decent soccer players. Throw with Barroso Rinstic. Just over halfway through the opening 45 minutes. Lynn, and the lone goal came in the 16th minute from Luis Kiefer. They've not been able to find insurance, but the Golden Eagles have not been able to equalize either. There'll be another opportunity for Barroso Rinstic, maybe looking to send this into a dangerous area. Headed back in, trying to find Kiefer. Silva looking to spring a counter as the white jersey's flowing forward.
Bit of fancy footwork, try to give himself some space.
Full credit to Lynn. They got numbers back behind the ball very quickly. It looks like initially there may have been a chance for Charleston had they been able to get numbers up the pitch, but Lynn was dropping back at speed in their midfield, closing any of those passing lanes.
And really connected, too. Usually you'll see that from one or two or maybe three players, but everybody collectively moved back, got into position, forcing him to play with the ball here.
Rose surveying the captain from the back row. Now Ostap across midfield. Lynn so well organized, as you mentioned. I mean, there's just not a lot of space to be had, and they're going for these optimistic balls coming out of the back, these 30-yard passes that so often are not finding their intended target because they don't have a lot of other options.
What a great defensive play there. Just the patience. A lot of times you get stuck in a corner and you panic. You waited for just the right opportunity to get it forward.
Gomez over the top. Flag will stay down. Trying to dance outside as two players are tangled up. It'll be a free kick for Charleston.
Don't know how I feel about that call. Seemed like a kind of fair situation for both. But yeah, Charleston, they're going to have to figure out how to connect their center backs to their strikers. It's probably going to mean more checking in from the strikers, trying to move forward and, let someone coming in behind, flicking on.
A free kick, it is going to be for the Golden Eagles. Gomez can't believe it, pleading his case, but you would imagine to no avail. And this will be just at the edge of the strike territory for Charleston. They can put this on frame as we take another look. You see Gomez right there. Ost was able to poke it away, and then Moraes came in, and he just wrapped up Moraes. Not a difficult call from our official.
Nice set piece here and a somewhat dangerous spot. One of the first we've seen.
It will be Caio Moraes, third-team All-American, the sophomore from Brazil. He stands over, as does Stradati, the Argentine, and it will be Stradati to take it, sending it in, looking for the head of a teammate.
And once again, stuck in a corner here. A little bit of less pressure. How could they build out?
Silva looking to weave his way through. On to Bell moves. Vinalek back to take it. Kay there to retain possession. Silva sending it in. Dangerous area cleared away by the captain, Efracourt. Another foul, and this is going to be a yellow. Caio Moraes will see the caution with just under 20 minutes remaining in the first half as he is in the books.
Again, trying to bargain with the ref. Unsuccessful, but I really like that first time, really quick service in from the corner there that created something from Charleston. This foul running right into the back of a fighting knight. It's going to get you booked every time.
Moraes second on this team in goals and points. Part of that impressive trident up top of Belmudes, Moraes, and Kay. Frustrating there for the Brazilian. Now he will have to make the necessary adjustments, playing with a caution, and still 65 minutes of this match remaining. Gomez able to take it nicely off the chest, and then Suarez Monaco back to retake it, if only momentarily. And our referee, Austin Sani, he's given him the opportunity, playing advantage. We will come back for the initial foul.
Talked about the sun in the last few games, and they just lost that ball there right before that exchange happened. Might be hard for people to see the service in here.
Fabian Vinalek will take it. The star midfielder from Austria serves it to the far edge of the 18. Headed in, looking for Kiefer. Anderson is there.
Kiefer close, almost a second. If I had to look back, I bet he just barely missed that one. Good on Gunderson just to read it. Not overcommit too early.
And again, it bears repeating, but it was Konstantinos Parisis, the junior from Thessaloniki, Greece, who got the start in the semifinal, and he was the one who'd been between the sticks for the previous 6 matches. Gunderson, who's seen more time, but most of that coming earlier in the middle part of the season. And after the loss to Concord, Coach Smee told me Parisis was playing very well in practice, a few mistakes from Gunderson, and they elected to make the change. With a red card in the 71st minute in the semifinal to Parisis, Gunderson stepped in and did not concede a goal, made 3 saves, and they are not worried about having him here in the championship match. They certainly know what the senior from Norway can do. He's done it all season long, the Conference Defensive Player of the Year. As it'll be a corner coming for his Golden Eagles. Moraes over to take it.
Tough as a keeper to still miss 6 games. You miss a bit of your rhythm. There's no fitness like game fitness. So you got to hand it to him for coming into this game and handling business here.
As far as minutes, he's played almost twice as many as Parisis has this season, but again, most of those coming earlier. Is the man down for the Fighting Knights, Luan Barroso Renstich, the sophomore defender from Germany, down just at the edge of his 18. And the trainer coming out to take a look. Again, we take the opportunity to welcome you. Glad to have your company here on NCAA.com. The top 2 teams in Division II men's soccer, both looking for another national championship. Lynn and Charleston. Lynn seeking their 4th, Charleston aiming for their 3rd. We take another look, see if we look there at the edge of the 18, anything in it. And you could see the thumbs up initially from Barroso Renstich, then he just elected to take a seat. Good to see him back on his feet and able to jog off the pitch. Certainly hope he'll be able to return.
Most likely a cramp. A lot of soccer in a short period of time for these guys. Lots of traveling, and finally here in the final stretch.
Just a busy season. I mean, look at these two teams. Both played over 20 games. Lynn unbeaten. Charleston just a single loss. And it begins to take its toll, does the long year. But also Rinstich back on the pitch for the Knights. The Fighting Knights, and they will find him immediately. So maybe an advantage here as he had just come off. Daniel Smee wants an offside, but also Rinstich, edge of the 18. Steps around the goalkeeper. Insurance for Lynn. Coach Smee beside himself. And that is exactly what Suarez Monaco is saying, that but also Rinstich, who came off injured, came back on the pitch. Lynn, give them full credit. They were able to find him in transition, and he finishes to make it 2-0 Fighting Knights. Coach Smee speaking with a fourth official, Mindy Lamboni, but the goal will stand. 2-0 Lynn. 17 minutes remaining in the first half.
Absolute cleverness there from Lynn. Loving the celebration, but let's look back at it. Oh, almost loses his balance. Just a quick cut to the side and a finish. That's all you need. And it feels like exactly the way a defender would approach a 1v1 situation. Really calm, composed, finds the space where he needed it, and it wasn't much.
Charleston, they continue to plead their case over at the near side scores table. Kay Silva and Coach Smee. Our referee, Austin Saney, speaking with the fourth official, Mindy Lamboni. We will see if they're going to take another look, and we will see if there's a card coming to Coach Smee, and there will. So Coach Smee is going to see a yellow card as he was vociferous protesting that. But give Lynn full credit. They timed it perfectly. It just happened to be that Luan Barroso Rinstich was coming back onto the pitch. So you can see him right there, bottom of your screen. He comes on. Vinilek found him perfectly. Great play from Fabian Vinilek, and off to the races. Barroso Rinstich win. Absolutely
genius from Vinilek, just to have the wherewithal and the vision of the field in that sticky moment to see it. A perfect distribution to him, mind you, into space. I mean, it could not have come about better than that. Understandably angry is head coach Smee, though. I mean, you got to feel for these guys. It feels like they were bamboozled, I'm sure. I know I would be furious, but, it was fair. It was totally fair.
Give full credit to Fabian Vinilek. Vinilek, his team leading 12th assist of the season, and it was just amazing vision. The junior from Austria somehow able to see through the massive bodies to his teammate who had just come back on the pitch. Very well executed. Luck certainly on their side, and the Fighting Knights with a 2-0 lead. It's over a quarter of an hour remaining. Charleston still yet to respond. This vaunted offense really yet to put anything on the frame of Clavero. They've been able to trouble the Andalusia native. This one, okay, unable to get there as it's sent high into the air, but still in the box. Moraes. Vinilek. Chance here. Oh, heavy touch. Picked up that time by Hermoso. Ngati. Slowing things down a bit, trying to locate Kiefer. It'll find Vinilek instead. Vinilek out to Gomez. Gomez sends it through. It's 3-0, Lynn. Tony Gomez with the third. The floodgates starting to open as the Fighting Knights. A 3-0 lead with 3 different goal scorers.
Look at that well-warranted celebration. I mean, hand it to Tony Gomez. Again, in a really great spot. He sees the congestion. He knows he's got numbers up. And again, it's just a quick cut. Doesn't waste time. Puts it away just out of reach there of Gunderson. And man, is he having himself a game. Well on his way to man of the match here. And to be 3 up with still quite a bit of time left in this half, Lynn has got to be feeling good right now.
Gomez, his 6th goal of the season comes off, and he will celebrate with the Fighting Knights sideline. They are wrapped up. Certainly the weather a bit cool for the Floridians. But the scoreline is red hot for the Fighting Knights. 3-0. They lead, and still over 15 minutes remaining in this first half. Charleston took the opportunity to bring on some substitutes as well, so some fresh faces, including Stafford Dowling, a senior forward from Hamilton, New Zealand, who got the start of the semifinal. He is on the pitch trying to make something happen. Also, Michael Celios, the senior from Athens, Greece, cleared away. Hafricorn, the captain there. But, Katie, you said it. I mean, Fabian Vinilek, his vision, his ability to put a ball on a dime, it's fantastic work from the Austrian, controlling things in the center of the park.
Yeah, you know, every now and then you watch a game and there are certain players who just stick out to you. He's one of those, no doubt, for his play-creating ability. He's always in the mix one way or another, has an assist and a goal from the previous game. Now can add 2 assists to the stat sheet here in this game. Again, got to give those play creators their flowers because a lot of these teams just would not be the same without them.
Second team all-conference, 5 goals on 48 shots to lead his side. It's just a great percentage. 11 assists also leading the team. That is 12th in the country. It's 21 points overall leading Lynn. Just give you an idea of the caliber and quality that he possesses. He can score, he can assist, and he will do whichever is best going to help his team in the moment. You can see the command, the respect he commands, I should say, in the middle of the park. The card came behind the play, did not see what transpired, but it's going to be issued to Fabio Menzel. Menzel, the graduate student from Bonn, Germany, sees yellow. See if we can get another look at that as he was well behind the play, he and Dowling.
Frustration starting to run high. Most likely. Could be also a card for dissent if, you know, anything sketchy may have come out of his mouth. That happens every now and then.
No, soccer player would never say something.
They would never. Perfect angels.
In all seriousness, though, he will see yellow, and behind the play, we're not privy to see what triggered the card from our referee. This was a physical contest from the opening whistle. Some very heavy tackles early on. Both teams trying to set the tone. You know, like the intended target knocked away. But if you're Charleston, you have the offense to get back into this match. Again, we talk a lot about this side, what they're able to do in terms of scoring goals, one of the best in the country. Now is the time. At the very least, you need to pull one back before halftime. Going into half, trailing 3-0, very different than trailing 3-1, I should say.
Absolutely. And then you can just see the frustration on their faces, looking for their teammates. No passing lanes open whatsoever. It's forcing them to dribble, forcing them to get stuck in sticky situations. There's just a bit of disconnect, I think, between the back line and the middle of the field. They get up, they're excited, they got this high press mentality trying to make something happen. They get caught on the transition, but ball in.
No trouble for Clavero. Charleston leads the country in goal differential. They have the number 5 scoring offense in Division II.
The ball had a bit too much of a bend on it. And in those situations for Charleston, you've got to make sure that you execute, because I think that's going to be their best chance to put some up before they get into the half.
Hermoso able to find Dowling under pressure from Vinilek. Will be a foul against Fabian.
Quite chippy at the ankles there, too.
But again, just absolutely imperative for Charleston that they pull one back before the break. They can cut this to a 2-goal deficit. It'll be a massive turn as Dowling just lost his footing. A little late to get a step on there, and Menzel does the wise thing, having won his side a goal kick. But Lynn coming out on fire. They found the opener 16 minutes in. Luis Kiefer able to split a pair of defenders, and he finished that one right through the gloves of Nikolai Gunderson. And then in the 28th, they're able to find insurance. Juan Barroso Rinstich came off. He had been injured moments before. They had to bring him off. He came on at the right time, as the aforementioned Kiefer will get a well-deserved break. And then in the 29th, Tony Gomez with the third. 3 goals, 3 different goal scorers
All senior or all veterans as well. Every single goal scorer on this field on both sides are veterans. And so I think, that also says something about who shows up in those big moments tends to be the upperclassmen.
Yeah, both Gomez and Kiefer graduate students. Barroso Rincic, a sophomore, so an outlier there. But you look at this side, and there are a lot of seniors, a lot of graduate students. Africorner graduate student, the goalkeeper, Clavero, an upperclassman as a junior, and the man we've mentioned so many times, Vinilek, he's just a junior, and that is very good news for a Lynn side that is going to lose a lot of talent. But it'll be a lot easier if they lose that talent and they have a national championship to keep John Roots and his staff company.
Absolutely, definitely helps with recruiting.
So Max Lamberts has come on, the graduate student from Mönchengladbach, Germany. He started in the semifinal, was replaced in the starting 11 today by Kiefer. First time we've seen number 4 in blue in the match, and he's won a corner. Now under 10 minutes remaining in the half. It looks like Lynn may have an opportunity to extend this lead, and they will certainly try. They know what Charleston can do. To the near post. Out it comes. Jan Roerling, shot deflected. Like doing a great job dropping back to mark his opposite number.
And again, it's that kind of hustle from your forwards and attacking midfielders that wins you championships, is that hustle back.
Sam Newell, the junior from Nottingham, England, on the pitch. Back with Newell. Out wide, turned over. Ngati coming back to take it. See if they can find him in space. They will indeed. Here's Ngati. Hold your breath time. Barroso Rincic, unable to find a teammate. He was looking for Lucas Villa. Villa, the sophomore out of Buenos Aires, another Porteño. Well represented on both of these rosters, as you can certainly understand. Kay coming all the way back to rescue possession.
Pace picking up here, no doubt, but man, just how pretty was that from Lynn to, Ngati, he hustles back, some pretty one-touch passes out of pressure. It was just that final pass had a little too much on it. Chance for Charleston maybe. Shut down again.
Menzel certainly getting the better of Dowling in these battles along this near touch line. Very well done that time. Defended by Jan Roerling, able to win the throw. Suarez Monaco, the sophomore from Rosario, his side been stymied thus far. Not a lot of offensive possession, and imagine if they're a bit shell-shocked by this 3-goal explosion by the Fighting Knights here in the first half.
I think, half the battle here was a mental battle. Had a lot of calls going against them. Dispossession quite a bit. At the half, it's going to be more of that mental comeback for Charleston.
Charleston looking to make a change. Still trying to find the right pieces on the pitch. Maybe we'll have a free kick. We'll see if there's more to boot or simply just a talking to.
I think Charleston trying to fight for a card.
You can see the captain, Tristan Rose, lobbying for just that. Simply a talking to from our referee, Austin Saini. Marco Costa wisely going back to take care of his defensive responsibilities.
Graduate and Italian. A mix of a bunch of South Americans. Really a truly international roster. Really important set piece here.
Salios to take it. The Athenian, no, to be Tradati instead. And Menzel able to send this one out to who else but Vinilek. Continuing to battle there with Silva, and just unable to hold on to it. Tradati couldn't keep it in play, and now changes coming for both teams. It'll be Samuel Montes, the sophomore from Cali, Colombia, coming on for Charleston. And on the other side of things, Finn Fredericks, the graduate student from Germany, making his first appearance in the match for Lynn.
Number 3, Finn Fredericks.
You can see the frustration there on the face of Jose Suarez Monaco, the the sophomore from Argentina, and that just says it all. I think that encapsulates what his team has dealt with here in the first half. And just 6.5 minutes remaining. Need to get something positive, need to pull a goal back, something to take into halftime. But Ngati looking for a fourth. Couldn't weave his way through.
The fact that there were 3 blue jerseys able to get there and to apply pressure in such a small space says a lot about what Charleston isn't doing. They're not expanding. They're not using the ball to find space. It's a lot of dribbling. They're also disconnected from the center backs to, from the center backs to the center midfield. Whereas with Lynn, they're hustling back. They're covering. It's just not happening a ton there for Charleston. That tends to happen when you're in this situation.
Radati looking for Dowling at the back post. Too far for the Kiwi. And Lynn will make another substitution as Alex Zedlitz comes on. The sophomore native Floridian out of the Villages in Florida. Product from the famed IMG Academy. He will plug into the back row here on this left side, taking the place of Menzel, who's had a very impressive showing here and really frustrating these wings along this touchline for Charleston.
You know, it's good when you can go to your bench here with, 5-10 minutes left and up 3-0. Lynn sitting really pretty. Of course, not letting anything up in this half, but they've got to be prepared for some fire in the second half from Charleston. This is just, I think, more of a mental breakdown for them than anything. It's definitely not indicative of their ability.
Africorn unable to keep this one in, and both teams, particularly Lynn, need to be very careful. They cannot rest on this scoreline, and certainly appears the Fighting Knights know that. They're not taking a second off. Rose out of the back. Trying to find Kay in the corner. Kay's been stymied. Very little room for the target forward today. Going to find a way through, and it's going to be a free kick. Dangerous one to boot. Great angle just outside the box for Charleston.
Last few free kicks have not been ideal services. It's got to be better this time. Let's have a look at it. Into a lot of pressure, just not getting a lot of good looks. A bit of a check there. He's swarmed by blue jerseys. Ref going to give him the call, but again, they've got to execute this.
Won by Tomas Petrangano. Petrangano, the sophomore from Buenos Aires, doing a good job as Celios there, number 17, and Tradati standing over it. You would imagine this would be Celios with the right. He will take it right into the wall. Tradati into the mixer. Clavero, no trouble. Not the tallest goalkeeper, just 6'1", is the Sevilla native, but he's great in the air, fantastic leaping ability, and most importantly, sure-handed.
Jumps like he's 6'3" or 6'4", that's for sure. Mad ups and just is always in the right place at the right time. Really good at reading the play. You can see the ball's distributed. He's exactly where you need to be. Doesn't bobble. A lot of keepers will punch that one out, especially, it wasn't a direct up. It was more of a diagonal up. Easy to lose your balance, easy to lose the ball when you fall and hit, but kept it tight.
Silva takes it himself down the near touch line. Forced back by Lamberts. Now Newell. Petrangano, he wanted that ball played towards him. Charleston in a precarious situation, obviously trailing 3-0. You have to move quickly, but you have to stay in rhythm. Can't just throw caution to the wind yet, as Ngati, the foul on Rose.
Trying to put that ball into play quickly, build up out of the back again. Would have been my first instinct to send that one forward.
Hermoso. Dowling. Forced to go back and knocked away. Sent to touch that time by Jan Rohrling. That defense for Lynn, we mentioned it going in. If indeed the case that defense wins championships, you could certainly see them being the slight favorite coming into this match. Unbeaten, they can score goals, but it's been the defense leading the way all season long. The defense has opened things up for this offense. 3 goals, 3 different goal scorers. As Kiefer found the first in the 16th minute.
They truly are a team that's good on both sides of the ball. It's just so rare to find.
Insurance from Barroso Renstich made it 2-0 in the 28th. And then just about 60 seconds later, Tony Gomez found the third. Petrongaro unable to find a way from the wall of blue kids that are swarming him, but it will be another free kick, maybe the final opportunity of the first half for Charleston. Petrongaro having won the free kick for his Golden Eagles. And yet another talking to as it'll be Dowling and Rohrling called into the teacher's office, as Rohrling and Dowling both are going to see a yellow.
Emotions running high here. Understandable. Seconds left to make something happen. And then looking back at this, of course, there's a lot happening there, but it's really what happens when he gets up. Not happy. There was a kick on the ground. Gets up. There's a shove.
The Austrian and the Kiwi now both in the books.
Wise on the ref just to handle it by putting them in the books there. Last thing you want is this to escalate.
So again, it will be Celios and Tradati. You would imagine a better angle for the Argentine Franco Tradati if he can strike it with the left. 2 in the wall for the Fighting Knights. It will indeed be Tradati trying to bend it in. He was looking for Silva. And a corner for Charleston. Still the opportunity for the Golden Eagles to pull one back here before halftime.
Seconds counting down. It's got to be a quick service in.
.30 seconds remaining in the half. Maybe the final chance here. Played to the near post. Poor service on the corner. All the way out to Montes it goes. Montes still. Now Newell. Tradati. No trouble as that ball easily collected by Clavero, and he can take another 5 or 6 seconds off the clock. Send this to the opposite side of the pitch as the final few seconds ticking down here in the first half. Lynn, an offensive explosion for the Fighting Knights. 3 goals, 3 different goal scorers. Lynn taking a 3-0 lead into halftime. 45 minutes away from what would be their 4th national championship. We'll see if they can finish this one off, but Charleston will surely have something to say about it. We'll step aside for 15 minutes when we return. First half stats and highlights. And get you ready for half number 2 here in the Tar Heel State, the beautiful Sportsplex in Matthews. Lynn leading 3-0 at the break. Halftime, welcome you back to the beautiful Sportsplex in Matthews, North Carolina. Lynn, 3-0 at the break. The Fighting Knights, an explosive opening 45 minutes as we take a look at the first half highlights. 16 minutes in, Luis Kiefer able to find his 8th of the season, and it had his side up 1-0.
Incredible stuff from Kiefer. I mean, just in all the right spots at all the right times. But this distribution from Fabian Vinilek all the way over here to Luan Renistich, and just the composure, the touch to the right, the finish. I mean, it caught everybody off guard.
But they were not done. The Fighting Knights would find a third. Tony Gomez, just 90 seconds later, made it 3-0. 3 goals in the first half. Fighting Knights looking for their 4th ever stage, but maybe a bit of a surprise. Charleston not able to respond. Not a single shot on goal in the first half for the Golden Eagles. This vaunted offense, we talk so much about their goal-scoring prowess. And aside from the scoreline, the fact that they haven't put a shot on frame, the biggest surprise of the first half.
Right, and they just have not had any good looks at all. They've really struggled connecting the midfield up into the attack. I mean, they're obviously an attacking-minded team. I think it's, hey, how do we find that patience, maybe find some better seams? Lynn just not giving up a lot. I mean, defending all the way from the top of the field to the very back line, and that's the mark of a really good program.
Undefeated on the year are the Fighting Knights, looking for their 4th national title. Charleston just 1 loss, looking for their 3rd. But Lynn dominated the first half, 65% possession. They had the 3 goals. Charleston really needs to respond, and quickly here in this second half. They need to come out, put something on the board in the opening 5 or 10 minutes to show Lynn that they are in for a fight, because right now Lynn having their way in this championship. Down on the pitch, rolling around, is Petrungaro. Tomas, the sophomore from Buenos Aires, took a shot that came from the second goal scorer, Luan Barroso Renstich. And Petrungaro immediately reaching up at his nose. We said this is a physical contest, and it really has.
Have to look back at what happened there. It was off the ball, almost looked like an accidental running into each other, but this one's going to go in favor of Charleston here.
Well, Petrungaro able to bounce up as he wins the free kick. The chances for the Golden Eagles have come via set pieces, corners, and free kicks. Stradati and Moraes have one here. Coach Smee, frustrating first half to put it mildly. He saw a yellow card for his dissent of the second goal by Luan Barroso Renstich. Stradati sends this to a dangerous area. Bouncing around. And Clavero wisely shepherding this out as he's able to beat Charleston's captain Rose to it. And over the inline, it'll go for a goal kick.
Much better service in on this set piece. The set pieces we saw in that first half just were not it. We're not going to cut it. And it's those kinds of things that that show you that these guys are going through a really tough mental battle in this moment, because there's no way you get to this level with those kinds of distributions. So in this second half, it's all about putting the pass behind you and playing like it's a 0-0 game.
We talk so much about the balance for Lynn, and they have 5 players that have scored at least 5 goals. Kiefer leads the team now with 8, but they do not have a double-digit goal score. That being said, we've seen that balance in the postseason. 6 different players scoring on 7 different goals coming into today. Today, 3 goals, 3 different goal scorers. It is truly a world of talent across the board for the Fighting Knights.
If I'm a coach and I'm looking at goal scoring, I definitely want that spread across my team as much as possible. Never a good thing to put all your goal scoring in one guy. All it takes is one injury or one transfer portal, and, you're kind of done for.
I mentioned these 2 teams, no stranger to this stage. Lynn seeking their 4th title, Charleston their 3rd. Lynn, their 7th championship match. They have won 3 of the previous 6. Charleston 2-3 in championship matches over the past decade. A rematch of what we saw in Kansas City back in 2017. A scoreless match through regulation and extra time as Petrungaro fouled again. The Porteño taking some shots early here in this second half and finishing that thought. It was ultimately Charleston who was able to come away with a victory 3-1 in penalty kicks. But Lynn, they won back in 2014 when we were in Louisville. This is the 3rd matchup in the championship, each having won one of the previous games. Right now, Lynn, one eye on the clock. Stradati sends it in. No trouble for Clavero. Clavero, such a talented goalkeeper. Mentioned his ability, the conference defensive player of the year in front of him, Hafricorn anchoring that back line. But Clavero, second in Division II in goals against average. He's in the top 20 in save percentage, goalkeeper of the year in conference. And the defense. It's hard to outscore opponents at this stage. You cannot get to the semifinals and the championship if you're going to give up 4 or 5 goals against. That is just a difficult thing to do, and Lynn proving that they can score, but they are a defensively minded side.
Yeah, as mentioned before, it's so difficult to find a team who really handles the ball on both sides. You've got forwards who are defending. You have defenders who are getting up. Everyone's covering each other, and that's been the biggest part of their success in that first half. And here again, Charleston, I think, starting to pick up and show up a little bit more, but they're going to have to defend big time here.
Barroso Renstich will head over to take the corner. Coming from the shade into the sun, maybe a bit more difficult as right now Gunderson shielding his eyes. Into the box, has a man off target. It was Tony Gomez looking for the brace, just couldn't put it on frame.
Tony Gomez vying for a second. Great work there, just finding that connection and then turning to get it on frame just shy of the post.
Yeah, this Lynn side, the best record in the country, the highest winning percentage at over 96%, with just those 2 draws. Katie, you and I were speaking about this match last night in our preparations earlier today, and even at halftime, you said this wasn't entirely surprising to you from the performance you saw from the Knights in their semifinal victory.
Yeah, I mean, in that game, they were just really creating their opportunities. The goals looked imminent before they were even moving into the final third, and that, for me, is a huge mark of success. Charleston, yeah, they had some goals. They were there where they needed to be at the right time, but it wasn't as clear-cut of opportunities for them. That tells me the big firepower here on the field, it's going to be Lynn. And Charleston, if they can't close things down defensively, they're going to be having a hard time here going toe-to-toe on the offensive.
Mond able to win it and looking to restart the offense himself. Able to find Barroso Renstich. Takes a shot outside the box, and it's going to be a free kick coming at the edge of the 18. Foul committed by the captain, Tristan Rose. Another dangerous set piece coming for the Fighting Knights.
That felt like your typical body check going for the ball. Don't know if that one really, I take that back. All right. Thank God for replay, because definitely was the aggressor there on that one. Well done, crew.
Juan Barroso Renstich able to win. And he will take the set piece himself. From an acute angle, serving it in, couldn't find a teammate. Gomez at the edge of the 18.
Wasn't a bad service, though. Again, a really close call.
Gomez able to weave his way through. Gomez into the box. Tony Gomez tried to lay it off to a teammate. No one in blue able to get on the end of it. Here the other way come the Golden Eagles, but you see so few white jerseys up the pitch. Everyone compacted back defensively, unable to come up, couldn't spring a counter.
Therein lies the challenge. Lynn just has this ability to get compact and then expand on a moment's notice. A lot of that is fitness. They make it look easy. So hard to pull that off late in the season. All the injuries and things that pop up.
Trungaro, a turn and a foul as he has won another free kick. He's been very adept at doing just that. Has the substitute.
See Lynn just trying to stand him up there. Nice little Maradona attempt, but elbow is going to put him out.
He is from Buenos Aires. I don't know that he supports the blue and gold of that one team or the red and white of the Great River Plate. Out it comes, Hermoso. Into the box, couldn't find a man. Petrungaro deflected off the goalkeeper, Clavero. Couldn't make a save. Men down, play continues. No, a point to the spot. You would imagine they will review this as Clavero off the spot, and now little pushing and shoving as Vinalek that time and Sam Newell exchanging pleasantries. And here is the review we knew was going to come from our referee, Austin Saney. This match, we've seen just about everything, Katie.
I'm loving the dramatics. This is what we live for here in soccer. Way to make this one a really good final, guys. And just looking back at all of those attempts, you got handed to Clavero. He comes out, punches that ball out. It's like he's 6'5", 300 pounds. He just comes out. Look at this. Bam. Not scared. He gets back in it, deflects once again, and this is where the problems start. There's a cleat up, a guy down on the box. Oh, trying to take it from behind. Misses the opportunity there of an open net, but it's this call here that's controversial.
And it was Fredericks, the man who went down, Fredericks, the man who took down Silva, and then the altercation after the fact is you saw Newell came in late, the junior from Nottingham, England, alongside there with Fabian Vinalek, and our official still at the near side scorers table. This will be a massive turn if indeed it is a penalty for the Golden Eagles, and this would certainly get them back into this. Still over 36 minutes, and that is a lot of time for an offense as talented as Charleston's. Here it is once again.
Clavero with another incredible deflection. His teammate gets in the way. He might have had that first time.
You wonder if they're going to say Fredericks enough on his foul of João Silva, and you saw it there at the end. Finn Fredericks, who came in, committing the work on Silva. It was Petrongado who had the initial shot, but it would have been the foul. Fredericks again on Silva. We will see.
What a beautiful goal that would have been from Petrongado had that worked. He'd take a nice little shifty hit, back chip, just denied there by Lynn's defense. It's a really tough call, but if anyone in this game really needs a PK, it's obviously Charleston.
There you go. Confirmation from our referee, Austin Saney, and there will be a penalty coming for the Golden Eagles. Rose, the captain, trying to use this as an opportunity to rally his side to come back in it. A final look. Petrungado's shot. Clavero with the initial stop, and then Fredericks came in. The contact with João Silva. Freshman from Porto, Portugal, winning, as it will be the star goal scorer, the first-team All-American João Belmudes, Urao, Brazil native, to take it. Belmudes. They're 4 of 5 in penalties this year are the Golden Eagles. Belmudes finishes easily, and it's a 2-goal game. Belmudes did exactly what he needed to do, and we very much have a match. The Golden Eagles fans on their feet here in Matthews.
Absolute game changer of a situation here is that PK opportunity. Massive pulse check for Lynn, who up until this point was really dominating quite a bit of the match. This is everything that Charleston needs to put the wind back in their sails. Let's see if they can just continue to carry that momentum.
João Belmudes, a massive goal for the Brazilian. He has led his team all season long. A team leading 14th goal. He leads in points as well. 7 assists as Petrungado able to shake off Vinalek. Edge of the box, Newell. Oh, he couldn't keep it. And here come Lynn the other way. And this just picked up the intensity. You can really tell now we have a match with 36 minutes remaining.
Bit of a miss hit there, just a little bit too much pace on it, and it's these kinds of things that are going to start creating a shift in the game. Charleston well on their way to make a comeback.
That is exactly the lifeline that the Golden Eagles needed. You could tell just judging by their sideline, they were trying to find some energy, trying to get something positive going, and they certainly have it. Now a spring in the step of all of the men in white.
Well, sometimes those larger leads in soccer are misleading.
On the Muller from Petrungado. Muller sending it in and headed away just in the nick of time. what a different Charleston side this is. Just didn't see that energy toward the end of the first half and early in the second, but they certainly have it now.
Absolutely, significantly better stuff all the way around. Services in, getting into tricky spots.
Not that Lynn took the foot off the gas by any stretch, and sometimes that can be the case. The Fighting Knights did not. Now they're really going to have to double down to keep this 2-goal lead. Charleston doing everything they can to cut it to a single goal. Kay serves it in, low and hard, cleared away.
Really quality clearance there from Marco Cross, the center back and captain. You see why he dominates in that role. Has really just not given up much. For Lynn, I think this is going to be the toughest part of the game, or these final 34 minutes. You've got Charleston lighting a fire here.
Newell inside to Kay. His countryman unable to keep it. Now Vinalek trying to spring free. He was looking to locate Kiefer, and we know what he can do with ball in a bit of space. And the flag up as Kiefer takes a shot from Newell. Kiefer comes up and does a very wise thing, does Kiefer. Just looked at the official, did not retaliate in any way. It's always the second person who gets caught.
Yeah, I was going to say, emotions running high, and you know there's a lot of words have been exchanged out there between these guys.
Costa off of Newell, it is judged to have gone. Season on the line. So many of these young men, their collegiate careers as well. So many of them will graduate. This will be their final collegiate match, and they would obviously like to have a trophy overhead to finish up the collegiate career before they hopefully start a professional career or move on to other arenas and stages in their lives.
No doubt that they can really be proud of themselves just for making it to this point, but you know that when you've got two winning programs, no one's going to be happy if they lose here. It's the nature of the beast.
Yeah, these two programs, they're used to playing for and winning national championships. So many teams, you would say, happy to get to this stage. These are not two of them. And just too far in front of Mueller, the pass from Ost.
Kind of stuff that they're going to just have to clean up moving forward just to keep that momentum going in their favor.
Shadows growing long across the pitch. The near side in the shade, the far still in the sun. Just over 32 minutes remaining. Every second precious, particularly for Charleston. Doing a better job maintaining possession, just working things around. They're patient, but you can tell they're certainly have a sense of urgency as well.
Look at how many blue jerseys are in the center of the park there. Not giving up any passing lanes. Again, moving so connected, forcing that ball wide. Maybe a chance here, but naturally to go wide is their first instinct.
And right now keeping 9 of 10 field players behind the ball as Kiefer has it taken away by the captain Rose. Nicely done.
There's a couple of times they've had Jack Kay there. The question is where the support is running off and around him. I think they need to look to find his feet a little more often.
Moraes spins to the inside. On to Belmudes. Will go against Moraes. The foul committed as Rohrling ends up on the deck.
I think that's a call head coach Smee can be very upset about. Charleston with advantage. Just didn't seem like a big enough foul to blow the whistle. Coach Smee doing everything he can just to avoid getting another yellow.
5th year in charge. Corbin Bowers, Daniel Gribben, Christopher Gribben, Hunter Hartwell, and Alejandro Iriti, his staff there in West Virginia. Mentioned the dominance they've had in conference. 2 national championships, 8 years overall, 5 as a head coach. As Kiefer comes into the box, Kiefer pressed away by the goalkeeper, and it will be a corner, a massive save from Gunderson.
Felt like deja vu there for Kiefer. Another situation where he gets out on the break. And just look at the beautiful movement there from Lynn. He's got a break. He takes the shot this time. Gunderson doing a great job of pawing that one away.
Kiefer comes off. Another well-deserved break. I have a feeling it will not be for too long as the corner over the head of everyone in blue. Barroso Rinsich sending this one to a dangerous area, but no trouble for Gunderson. Ngati, he's definitely going to see yellow on this. A poor decision by the Munich native, Dominic Ngati. And that is one that is simply a mental error you do not expect from a player of his quality.
Yeah, I mean, everyone's been there and done it, right? You're in the heat of things. It's just really not necessary.
Your team
You're going to get called every time.
Team is leading. You are such an integral part, and with just under half an hour remaining, as a very poor decision from Dominic Ngati.
We'll say it allowed his team to get nice and set. So no quick transitions there from them. I think they would have been fine either way, though.
I don't know that that was worth him seeing a yellow card. We know how integral he is, and you look at all these players currently in the books right now. 3 for Lynn, Ngati, Rohrling, and Fabio Menzel all sitting on yellow cards. They need to be careful. The last thing they want to do with this lead is go down a man and have to play with 10 men for the remainder.
We've seen it happen before, and it's just not a fun game when one team is down a man for either side, really. It just ends up getting compact and congested.
Yeah, we've seen some beautiful soccer. It's free-flowing, box-to-box, very entertaining, electric stuff, and last thing you want is one of these teams just to sit back and defend for however long is remaining in the match. Or conversely, if it's Charleston, just throwing numbers forward, which they're going to have to do at some point, you would imagine.
They're a team that loves to swing it along the back line, but I want to see these center backs distribute forward a little more. I think that could help them get up on a counter a little bit quicker, especially when they've got a few more seams beginning to appear through the middle of the field. But it's clearly a game plan that they're working with that they've mastered throughout the season. So just trying to stick to playing their game here.
Hermoso's pass stolen away. Here comes Ngati. Flag is up. Just offside. He could not time it, and he was inches on the other side when that ball was played his way.
Really, in these last few minutes, such an even match. Got to feel for Charleston a bit in that first half.
Petrongaro unable to keep this one in play. But you're right. I mean, giving up that first goal early on in the 16th minute and then back-to-back goals within 90 seconds of each other to make it 3-0. Difficult to come back from, particularly against a team as talented as Lynn. Able to pull one back from the spot. The penalty here in the second half in the 54th, but they have not been able to get any closer.
And see the frustration starting to run high. Got his teammates trying to get him back in the mix. These are the moments where you have to be much mentally stronger. Just don't let the mistakes compound.
Gomez taken right back by Newell. His pass running to the back heel there of Moraes as we will go back for the initial foul. Moraes tried to play it quickly, saw the opportunity, and he will not have it. And credit our officials. It has been a difficult match to officiate. Austin Saney has done a good job. Jay Norris, Dustin Killick, and Mindy Laboni, our crew for today. The best teams in the country, the best officials as well. They've certainly had their hands full. Charleston will make a change as Jose Suarez Monaco comes back on. Sophomore from Rosario, Argentina, taking the place of Paulos, the freshman from France. More of an offensive or defensive switch. Host more of a defensive-minded midfielder.
That could very much be the trick here for Charleston. close some of the gaps there between the midfield and the defense. But Kit, you mentioned it, you know, some pretty even refereeing here. It's not for lack of opportunities or set pieces for Charleston. It's just that I think Lynn has made more of from their opportunities.
They did so early on, giving themselves that lead. But also Rinstic, the second goal, insurance. Over to Zedlitz, who serves it in. Not a teammate in the vicinity, as like unable to get on the end of it.
Interesting movement from Lynn there. Typically, I think in that last situation, they would have been much more apt to go to goal. Had a bit of a clearer look, far from outside the 18, but not impossible to put away. Trying to get some horizontal movement going, find better seams. Good on Charleston to shut that down.
Charleston dominating possession since their goal in the 54th. They've yet to pull another back, still a 2-goal deficit. And all hands on deck defending for the Fighting Knights right now. Haven't been willing to take chances, committing numbers forward. Gonna move on the outside, Newell serving this one across the face of goal. Clavero there, it took a touch. The flag was up for offside. Clavero again. Fantastic work from the Sevilla native.
There nonetheless, right? I mean, not taking any chances. Why he's keeper of the year. Let's have a look at this, and close call there for Jack Kay.
And Clavero has done such a fantastic job between the sticks all season long. Number 2 in Division 2 in goals against average. Top 20 save percentage, and he is as sure-handed as they come. Now a chance for Lynn, looking for a bit more breathing room, but a nice save on the other end from Gunderson. So one save on one side and another on the other.
Bad turnover in a tough spot. Gunderson there to save the day.
He certainly had his hands full, and again, remember the red card to Konstantinos Parisis in the 71st minute of the semifinal is precluded. That goalkeeper who's started the last 6 matches for Charleston, he not in action today. So Gunderson, the man who'd started the majority of the matches throughout the early and mid-season, getting the start. The senior from Norway. Up to Kay. Oh, great tackle there. Read it well, did his opposite number, Anton Mand.
Incredible defending. And just knowing when to make that slide. Great depth perception. But again, Charleston heating up here, looking like a much better team, creating much cleaner opportunities.
Question is there time, as we are now halfway through the final 45 minutes? Oh, great diagonal ball across. And the captain, Costa, in. Nicely done. The captain there, but no, they're going to say he did not play that one before it eclipsed the inline, so it's going to be a corner, set piece conceded, and a great opportunity for Charleston.
Really beautiful diagonal on that ball. Just need the rest of the team getting involved.
Elmuts takes it, all poorly taken, as that one not getting over the first defender. Even though they have to play with a sense of urgency, they still need to execute. It's a fine line to walk. Elmuts looking for space. Knocked away, play continues. Hermoso, physical play, and referee allowing it to go for both sides. Hermoso's shot deflected. Clavero comes out of his box trying to keep this from being a corner, and does.
Gutsy, but it worked.
Newell able to put that anywhere close to the target. As another change coming, and it'll be Lynn bringing on Max Lamberts.
Entering the game for Lynn, number 4, Max Lamberts.
The graduate student midfielder from Mönchengladbach, Germany. Saw him as a first-half substitute. He will come on to take the place of Finn Fredericks in the center of the pitch. Our referee is going to come have a word with Luca Clavero. You would imagine he is telling him that he is very much keeping an eye on him. There will be no time wasting as the veteran goalkeeper that is the junior from Sevilla. He knows that every second he can take off will certainly aid his team's causes of coming away with their 4th national championship. It's a fine line to walk. You want to take every second, but you don't want to get a yellow card. That may be the one warning for Clavero in that instance.
If you aren't time wasting a little bit when you've got a lead, you're really not trying. You know, you got to get talked to at some point for it.
There's certainly an argument to be made for that. Clavero, the one goal he's conceded today came from the penalty spot. Very little you can do in that situation as a goalkeeper. Aside from that, he has done his job to a T.
For Charleston, it's just next best play, next best movement, building off of that.
Gomez dispossessed by Hermoso. Up with Petrungaro. 2 defenders immediately on number 23. And the referee has seen Tomas Petrungaro a few times go to ground, the last maybe relatively easily, and he's not going to give him a free kick in that instance.
Not buying that one. Too bad, because they really did have a counter going.
Gomez along the top touch line. So slippery is Tony Gomez, the Spaniard, and I say that with great affection. He's the kind of player that you think you have him, and all of a sudden he figures out a way to wriggle by you, and he's into open space. Just a difficult player to mark. Good size as well for Gomez.
Really good with the ball at his feet. I mean, he can just slalom through people if he really wants, but instead opting for a better brand of soccer and, you know, just choosing the time and place of using that dribbling ability.
Both these teams play a very attractive brand of soccer. Not only do they score, but it's fun to watch as well, and just makes all the difference. Our friends at the Great River Plate in Argentina say, gustar, golear y ganar, the 3 Gs. If you can do those 3, you're doing okay, and they're certainly doing it. Time very much a factor. Over 18 and a half minutes remaining, and Charleston just have not been able to find much. They've been stifled by this impressive Fighting Knights defense, and we've said it time and time again, but Lynn, there's 3 goals early on. Their defense has taken over. They've done a masterful job keeping this Golden Eagles offense in check.
They're a program that will make you pay if you give them that look at goal, and had 3 solid looks, took advantage. Right now, not getting as many good looks. I think part of that is them getting out of form, trying to handle Charleston.
Easy to see why they have not lost a match this season, and they are looking to take a national championship and that unblemished record back to Boca Raton. Their first semifinals appearance since 2019. First finals appearance since 2017. 7th time playing in this match. They've won 3 of the previous 6. Chance here for the Golden Eagles. Sent in and headed away. Roerling, the man who concedes, as Belmoods will take it. Very few chances through the run of play, but a good set piece here across the face of goal. That one fine to Lamberts. I don't think he knew much about it. Deflected and finally cleared away.
A minute there, I thought that was a handball. Definitely wasn't.
Charleston will make yet another change as Hugo Prats de Ostad comes on, the freshman from Spain. Saw him as a semifinal substitute. First time we've seen him in this match.
Number 21, Hugo Prats de Ostad. Replacing number 23,
Ostad taking the place of Petrongaro.
You talk about having 2 winning programs, and the I guess opposite of silver lining of losing is that if you haven't lost much during the season or had to make a comeback, it's hard in these tough moments to build that resiliency. I'm sure they've not gotten here without pretty good fight at times, but sometimes when you have a winning trajectory and going gets tough at the very end.
Willer crosses this one in. Clavero climbs the ladder. Had to be sure-handed, and it was. Nicely done from Luca Clavero.
Spectacular. Just consistent. You know, if he's in the vicinity of the ball, he's going to be involved.
As a goalkeeper, that's all you want to see. Is you don't want a goalkeeper who has high highs and low lows. You just want that very even keel. You know what you're going to get, and that is definitely the case for both of these goalkeepers, particularly Luca Clavero. Nearing that quarter of an hour mark remaining. 3 first-half goals from the Fighting Knights have them ahead. Luis Kiefer found the opener in the 16th minute. And then goals 90 seconds apart. In the 28th and 29th minute, made it 3-0 from Barroso Renstich and Tony Gomez. As it appears that the aforementioned Kiefer may come back on, and obviously, you know what he can do. You don't need the goal-scoring prowess of Kiefer, so I would imagine it will be a light change, and maybe for Ngati, who we saw pick up that yellow card earlier, we will have to wait and see if that is indeed the case. But you still need to pose a bit of an attacking threat, and Kiefer can certainly do that.
I mean, between Vinilek, Kiefer, Gomez, and Gatti, it's just a lot to deal with up top. They all work so well together. Movement. Any of them can put it away, so it's not like you can just focus on one person.
Here is the change we mentioned as Luis Kiefer comes back on. And it will be for Tony Gomez, so Ngati will stay on, but one of those attacking forwards coming off, and you can certainly understand why. Gomez has put in quite a shift today.
Of course, not in any rush to get off the field.
Gomez,
time has stopped.
Want to make sure he got all the instructions from Kiefer on. Gomez knew exactly what he was doing. Gomez maybe not pleased that he's coming off in this situation, and you have to like that. All these players, they want to stay on. They want to be on the pitch for the full 90 minutes. The competitive nature that it takes to get to this level, and Tony Gomez certainly possesses it.
I would feel the same, especially if I have a goal. Why am I not playing the full 90?
Oh, Mr. Kiefer can say he has one as well, and his came first.
Exactly. You know, Coach always has other plans, right? So I'm sure there's good reason for it.
Belmut's able to win the corner, and it will be Caio Moraes, his countryman, to take it. Just trying to get something going. Time very much of the essence to the near post. Clavero. Oh, that was dangerous momentarily before Clavero was able to come away with it cleanly. Up this near side, trying to link up with Barroso Renstich. Right now, Lynn just happy to keep the ball on this end, something it has not been in some time.
Very true. I think, you know, if you discounted the first 3 goals in the first half, it's a 1-0 game right now.
Lynn, who dominated the first half, 3-0 at the break. They had 65% possession in the first half, but the possession is certainly in favor of Charleston, as are the goals in the second half. But it is a full 90 minutes you need. 45 is not enough to win you a national title. Both teams very cognizant of that, as Lambert's able to come away with that and does the sure thing as he sends it all the way back.
Smart move there, open up the field.
Vinilek, a bit of space. Oh, he was looking for Kiefer, and Kiefer just let that ball run, and it went a bit too far.
Idea was really good there. Just a bit of a missed time. But again, I mean, you just see the brilliance that Lynn is able to create. For some reason, not able to execute in the second half.
Those balls from Fabian Vinilek out of the midfield, they are on point. He puts them on the toe every single time, exactly where you want them to be, and it would be hard-pressed to vote against him as the most valuable player of this match. He really has pulled the strings, as he did in the semifinal and as he's done for much of this season for the Fighting Knights. Lambert's flag stays down. Ngati, a bit of space on the outside, tried to cut into the 18. Ngati, heavy touch. That allowed Gunderson to come out. Did everything right except for that final touch from Dominic Ngati.
Solid hustle there. And again, can't rest on Lynn because just like that, they're right back in it. I think, you know, sometimes being up by a few goals tend to relax a bit.
So more changes coming as Finn Fredericks coming back on, as is Fabio Menzel for Lynn. Charleston bringing on a change of their own. It will be Michael Celios, the senior, comes back to the fray for the final 11 minutes. It will be Fabian Vinilek who comes off. What a incredibly impressive match from that man right there. He has done everything, the junior from Austria. But still 11 minutes. Stranger things have happened. This Golden Eagles offense, one of the best in Division II men's soccer. And if anyone can find 2 goals in this short of time frame, it is definitely Charleston.
Absolutely not over yet. Even one more goal could be the momentum that they need. If you look at the story of the game in their eyes, it feels very much like the odds are against them. Down 3 in the first half, calls not going their way. They could come back. It would really be probably the comeback of the season for them.
And not to stir the pot, but it was that second goal when Luan Barroso Rinstic, he'd come off just moments before injured, and he came on. He was substituted. Not substituted, he came on after being injured. The 4th official let him back on the pitch just when Lynn took possession of the ball outside of their own 18. Fabian Vinilek was able to find him in transition. There was no one over here marking him, and he took it all the way in for a goal, and that made it 2-0. There was protest from the entire Charleston side. The coach, Daniel Smee, received a yellow card, and then it looked like after that, a lot of the air came out of the sails of Charleston as they conceded the third just 90 seconds later. But as Monaco trying to tightrope the in line, he's won a corner.
Charleston doing a really great job of earning those corners. They just need the distribution to match it.
Making short, Celios serves it in. And it's in! 1-goal game. 9:15 remaining. João Silva has cut the deficit, the freshman from Porto, Portugal. We have a game, ladies and gentlemen. A national title on the line. Don't go anywhere.
Well, you called it, Kit. Look at this distribution and beautiful. He gets up on the end of it, just out of the reach of Clavedo. He's able to just get the tip of his glove on it, but it's just not enough. It's a goal all day long. It's exactly what Charleston needs. This is a huge game changer situation. Lynn, they have got to put their foot fully on the gas.
Just the 3rd goal of the season for João Silva. What a match we have. Just 9 minutes remaining, and Lynn as you alluded to, Katie, may have taken the foot off the gas a bit too soon against a team that can score like very few teams anywhere can, and that is Charleston. And you wonder if Lynn will park the bus and they are just going to sit back and try to have these 9 minutes elapse, or if they will try to find insurance yet again, because Charleston, you can be sure they will send everything they can now at the goal of Clavero in this remaining 9 minutes.
Doing a much better job now that they've got some momentum behind their back. Mind is really in it, you can tell. Some good defensive moments.
Kiefer, flag stays down. Has Ngati with him, running. Kiefer. He's won a corner.
Great movement, though, there between him and Ngati. You could see the thought process. Had his head on a swivel there, knew exactly where his teammate was trying to find that diagonal, just got closed down a little too soon. Charleston not taking any chances.
Luis Kiefer scored the opener in the 16th minute. He had a long stretch on the bench in this second half when Lynn shifted the mentality from offense to defense, and he is now back on. He can certainly make things happen. So does Monaco. Bit of space here along this near line. One of the newer additions, Rats de Ustad. Now out wide. Okay. Driven ball to the penalty spot. Hermoso closest to it. Turned over. Newell. And up the other way. Kiefer, the intended target again. The captain Rose marking him. Kiefer nearly lost his footing. Kiefer trying to work his way around and coming in to clean things up, but still the danger. All the way out. Kiefer looking for the spectacular. And still down on the pitch is Charleston's last goal scorer, João Silva.
Not looking good there, but just looking back at that attempt from Luis Kiefer, love the confidence to take that one. You did have numbers up there, though. Even got your center back moving in, trying to make something happen here. This is what makes the team so difficult. Again, a beautiful service in. It's a great first touch to control that ball, and then he tries to volley it for the finish. But in the meantime, wincing in pain here.
That combination between Ngati, who had the initial run, and Kiefer, who had the shot. Those two just put so much pressure on opposing defenses, and they have all season long. Kiefer, 8 goals, 4 assists on the season. Ngati with 6 goals of his own. We mentioned so many players above that 5-goal mark for Lynn. And João Silva still being attended to.
No, it's not good when you have your head coach jogging out there, too.
Coach Smee out there to check on the star freshman defender from Portugal. 5th year in charge as the assistant. As we take another look, you see Ngati trying to work around Rose as Silva comes in, and looks like he may have been stepped on that time from Marco Costa.
Stepped on, and it could have also tweaked him a bit there, but minimum have quite the bruise. Still down and not able to work through it.
Silva finally back on his feet, and a good sign, is able to come off under his own power. Our referee is going to take another look as Silva in front of the Lynn bench, and he has a few words for the Fighting Knights.
In multiple languages, no doubt.
I don't think that needs a translation. The Fighting Knights bench told to back up a bit as the young men from South Florida bundled against the cold here today in the Tar Heel State. As Silva, he will have to come off at least momentarily. His play had to stop.
If anything, bring him off to simmer him down a little bit.
That's
Last
exactly
thing you
what
want is to bring him in and do something silly. If you're coach,
that's exactly what
I'd make
Jal
a
Belmoods
change.
was trying to do, and you could see Belmoods and Silva still talking, and His teammates now wisely pulling him away from the officials, and I can certainly understand why João Silva is angry, but Moraes and the rest of his side doing a very good job trying to calm him down. And as you so correctly said, Katie, they cannot afford to have any losing of the head in this situation. You're very much in this match, trailing by 1, 7 minutes to go.
It's understandable, the anger. You know, if you're looking at it through the eyes of Charleston, you're seeing some calls not go your way, then maybe a dirty foul or situation happens, and at least there's still some fight left in it.
There's a lot of fight left in this. That is not up for debate. As our referee still here at the monitor, our near side scores table, taking a look. And it's going to be a, let's see here.
Is this a call in favor of Lynn?
That was my initial assumption, but we will see if it is simply just going to be a goal kick for Gunderson. Silva still over here on the near side, and our fourth official, Mindy Lamboni, there. As Silva, he wants to come back on as quickly as possible. And indeed, simply a goal kick for Gunderson.
I was going to say a bit misleading on the hand gestures there, but all good for Charleston.
And Silva's back on the pitch, so good sign there as well.
Part of the problem of being super feisty is that you stop kind of playing your own game. You're just focused on getting a hit back on someone, so hopefully he can simmer down and play.
Celios back to Tradati.
A couple of times they've had big switches on. Good to see they're moving across there.
Suarez Monaco trying to dance around Lamberts. Oh, too much on it. He was trying to link up with Celios, but it'll stay as Rose able to retain possession. Sent in, dangerous cross again. There's a man and just passes. That came off the head of Kay. We talk about him being a target striker, the Preston, England native. He is so good in the air, and Kay very much likes that service. He would like another one, and he was just inches off from the equalizer.
Coach again livid that that's not a corner kick opportunity. Looks like Clavero just got his hand out of the way when he realized that ball was going out of bounds.
Clavero was beaten to the post, and as you said, that ball not on target, and he wisely did not make a play for it. Celios there taking a bit of a knock, trying to rub the back of the head, and the Athenian back to work as he knows there's no time to waste. Gatti from behind. Play on, says the referee. Here comes Barroso Renstich. Trying to weave his way through. Still Barroso Renstich. And finally, Celios comes back and able to dispossess him, and he was the last man. Ngati trying to turn his way through.
Just does so well under pressure. Nice little fake there.
Also, Renstich tried to make a meal of that one. Went down relatively easily, and that's exactly what our referee saw. Play continues. Belmuds. Up to Hermoso. On a poor final ball. Kay closest to it. Never any real chance of getting to that one before Clavero.
Kind of hand it to the ref for just controlling this game. I mean, when this game first started, it was bodies on the floor every 2 minutes. And, yeah, there's some fouls. They're just not as chippy as they were in the beginning.
Katie, you're exactly right. Our referee, Austin Saney, did a good job. He really set the standard early on because this is a physical contest as both teams trying to seemingly outdo each other. They both have had to dial it back considerably. Off of Costa. The throw will keep it with Charleston, taken quickly. João Silva serves it in. Over. Clavero may have come up too quickly, and he was able to ultimately get enough of it as he concedes the throw, but that one looked like it may have been destined for the net. Radati now with the cross. Oh, not cleared away. And Clavero is there. Almost a massive mistake and almost the equalizer. Clavero coming up to spare his side.
My goodness, last man on the line of defense. He's got a tap there, and it's between his leg and his hand that stops it. The acrobatics from Clavero.
And that was the captain, Henry Haffercorn. It is rare you see that from the Conference Defensive Player of the Year. He does not make mistakes, and he almost had an absolute killer. Would have made this 3-all. Instead, Lynn still hanging on by the narrowest of margins. Less than 3 minutes remaining.
You've got to hand it to this Charleston side for their resilience, the fight, the comeback.
Trailed 3-0 at halftime. A pair of second-half goals. A penalty in the 54th. Coolly converted by João Belmudes. Been able to cut the deficit, and then João Silva with the header. 2 minutes. Do they have time? Can they find the equalizer? Deflected.
Again, another close call there for Charleston. You just see hands on the head, and you feel for him. It also seems...
Clavero presses it away. He has a tendency to come high in that 6-yard box, and not the tallest of goalkeepers. Maybe Lynn's seen something as they tried to chip it over. There was a man there at the post as well, and another corner.
It's feeling like a matter of time here for Charleston. Very little time.
Can they do it with 90 seconds left to the near post? Costa not clearing the danger. All the way out. Kiefer has Ngati running with him. Now reinforcements coming on the second level. Kiefer over to Ngati. One further. Barroso Renstich. Ngati, less than 60 seconds remaining. And he will wisely take it to the corner. Dominic Ngati knows taking time off the clock the most important thing.
I mean, they had numbers up, too. I think when we're talking about just fitness, Lynn is the fittest team that I've seen this weekend.
They fell to Charleston in penalty kicks in the national championship match in 2017. This is their 7th all-time appearance in the national championship match. They have won 3 of the previous 6, and they are now 20 seconds away from their 4th national title, are the Fighting Knights of Lynn. It'd be the 3rd for John Roots. And one final opportunity for Charleston. Clock stops, 9 seconds remaining. Kiefer sees yellow, and this will be the last chance for Charleston. Can they do the miraculous and find an equalizer? They've come from behind, a pair of second-half goals to cut the deficit after trailing 3-0 at half. And it'll be Gunderson to take it. All of the field players up, clustered at the top of the 18 for the Golden Eagles.
Nine, 8, 7.
Final few seconds ticking off the clock.
3, 2, 1.
And that will do it.
Your final score, Lynn 3.
For the 4th time in history, the Lynn University Fighting Knights are your men's Division II national champions.
Reminder fans, please stick around. We've got the
The
award.
dog piles, the emotion, the celebration.
Award ceremony coming up.
3 first-half goals for Lynn. Charleston fought back with 2 in the second, but ultimately not enough, as John Roots will bring another championship back to South Florida. Elation on the part of the Fighting Knights. Congratulations to them and their staff. What a match, as they are able to hold on and secure their 4th national championship. And hats off as well to Charleston, particularly in the second half comeback. They dug themselves a hole. They tried to battle back, ultimately could not. But this was everything we hoped we would see between these two perennial powers. 1 versus 2, and it came down to a single goal.
Tell you what, Kit, they really gave us a game. We had the dramatics, the acrobatics, the celebrations. We had the comeback team. You know, at one point, you're cheering for Lynn, who's putting it away, and then you have Charleston on the way back, and you can't help but cheer for that underdog. And I say underdog purely because it was a rough first half. Had they come out like this in the first half, could have been a different game. But hey, shoulda, coulda, woulda. Either way, great showing from both sides. Great work getting here. Got to hand it to the seniors. Got to hand it to the coaches. A great game all the way around.
Lynn with 3 goals from 3 different goal scorers. They have scored by committee all season, and they did so today. But it was Fabian Vinalek, the junior from Austria, who led the way. So impressive, marshaling things in the center of the pitch, really pulling the strings in offense. And his side will hoist the national championship trophy very soon. What a match indeed, and huge congratulations to them as they are back where they feel they belong, and you could certainly not argue with that. Back to hoist a national championship. We will have that trophy presentation coming up in just a bit, but first I'd like to take the opportunity to thank our entire crew here, our producer Ryan Jordan, our director Andrew Davis, Bobby Tindor, replay, and our camera crew, Ivan, Isaac, Darian, and Quaylen, a fantastic job. And we are not done. We still have one more match tomorrow. It'll be our women's championship match. Cal Poly Pomona, the Broncos, taking on the Mavericks of Minnesota State. It'll be at 3 p.m. Eastern Time right here on NCAA.com. We will step aside very briefly. When we return, it will be our trophy presentation as the Lynn Fighting Knights, for the 4th time in program history, your men's Division II soccer national champions.
First up will be the all-tournament team. Please ask the members of the all-tournament team to come to accept their trophy and to stay for the team picture after. From McKendree, number 21, Philip Schmidt. From CSU Pueblo, number 8, Luke Smith. From Charleston, number 10, João Bermudez. From Charleston, number 19, Paul Host. From Charleston, number 27, John Silva. And from Charleston, number 31, Tristan Rose. From Lynn, number 1, Luca Clavero. Number 5, Henry Hafferborn. Number 9, Anton Mand. Number 10, Luis Kiefer. And number 16, Marco Costa. Congratulations to the all-tournament team. And now for the most outstanding player from Lynn University, number 10, Luis Kiefer. It's now time to recognize both of our teams. First, Let's give it up for our national runner-up, the Golden Eagles from the University of Charleston. When your name is called, please come forward to accept your trophy. Number 1, Nikolai Gunderson. Number 3, Tomas Mueller. Number 4, Sam Newell. Number 5, Juan Hermoso. Number 7, Jose Suarez Monaco. Number 8, Caio Moraes. Number 9, Jack Kay. Number 10, Joel Bermudez. Number 11, Stafford Dowling. Number 12, Kostas Parisas. Number 13, Tyler Card. Number 14, Eduardo Rodriguez. Number 15, Franco Tradetti. Number 17, Mikey Celios. Number 19, Paul Haas. Number 20, Samuel Montez. Number 21, Hugo Press-Dustad. Number 22, Ethan Zarka. Number 23, Tomas Petrugaro. Number 24, Andre Sesma. Number 26, Jack Allen. Number 27, Joas Silva. Number 29, Terrence Girouge. And number 31, Tristan Rose. Fans, once again, let's give a big round of applause to your national runner-up, the Golden Eagles from the University of Charleston. And now for the national champions. When your name is called, please come and accept your trophy. Number 0, Mike Guzman. Number 00, Matthew Press. Number 1, Luca Clavero. Number 3, Finn Fredericks. Number 4, Max Lamberts. Number 5, Henry Happergorn. Number 6, Tony Gomez. Number 7, Vivian Vanelcha. Number 9, Anton Mant. Number 10, Luis Kiefer. Number 12, Ethan Henderson. Number 14, Laurent Barroso Rinstich. Number 16, Marco Costa. Number 17, Kevin Diaz. Number 19, Dominic Ngati. Number 20, John Rawling. Number 21, Alex Zetlitz. Number 22, Joel Negro. Number 23, Fabio Menzel. Number 24, Max Werner. Number 26, Daniel Barrett. Number 30, Lucas Vila. Number 32, Miles Petrie. Number 99, Gavin Garland. Head coach, John Roots. Assistant coach, Anthony Desperito. and athletic trainer Elise Calzadilla. And now for the trophy presentation, would the coaches and captains please come forward and accept the 2024 National Championship Trophy. Congratulations to your 2024 Men's Soccer Division II National Champion Fighting Knights from Lynn University. Once again, fans, on behalf of the NCAA and our host, Wingate University, we thank you for your attendance at the 2024 NCAA Division II Men's Soccer National Championship. Please remember that Wingate University, once again, please remember that next year's championship is at Carter Stadium in Salem, Virginia.